name is Corey and I would like to welcome you back to the Clater House. I am very excited for today's video because I'm kicking off Vlogmas and I'm so ready to just hang out with you guys for the holidays. In this video, I know it's the first week of December. However, for me, it's actually the day before Thanksgiving. So while Vlogmas will be centered around like the Christmas holiday season, today will be centered around Thanksgiving because we are hosting some of our very close friends this year. And while this is not a specific Christmas video, I'm still excited to kick off the holiday season with you with Thanksgiving, which is my personal favorite holiday. Now, to get ready for my friends coming over, I need to plan my table setting. However, I didn't want to go out and buy a whole bunch of new things, so I'm going to try to make it work with what I already have. Now, one thing I really did not want to buy was table linens. I love table linens, however, they're so expensive and I figured I could make some of my own pretty easily. And I was just getting ready to go out to Joann Fabrics to buy some fabric to make my own napkins and placemats and tablecloth and all of those types of things. But I do already have leftover from my wedding some white ivory tablecloths. And as I was getting ready to head out the door, I remembered that I had all of this fabric here from a yard sale that I figured I could make something out of this without having to buy anything new. At this yard sale, we bought also, excuse the creepy basement. I am so sorry. This will get renovated at some point, but not right now. I got 2 large garbage bags full of fabric for $5 each, and then a couple of rolls of like 5 yards of fabric for like $5 each, and then a ton of upholstery foam and stuff. So if you saw my video where I DIY'd an upholstered ottoman, I bought the foam for that and all of this fabric at the same time. So I'm gonna search through here and see if I can find some stuff that will work without me having to buy any new fabric. Looking at what we already have that I know we're using is these plates here. They're like a beige with some brown speckles and then some brown rims around the outside. And I have 2 different sizes of these. This is the smaller size. I think it's like a 9-inch, and then I believe we have a 12-inch size as well. So these will be our plates that I kind of need to base everything else around. And then also I have these napkin rings here that are like a dark wood brown also. They're the only napkin rings that I have at least 6 of, which is how many place settings we need. So I know these have to be our napkin rings and these have to be our plates. So basing off of that, we have brown, my favorite color. And I would like to kind of keep it in the fall theme. I do have some napkins here, but they're more in the green, summery, like spring realm. They're really pretty and I think they could work, but I only have 4 of them. I'm not opposed to doing 4 of these and then having 2 at like each of the head of the table in a separate color, as long as it's a solid. I think I would be okay with that. Or if it's a pattern, it needs to be a more structured pattern than this like free-flowing paisley situation, which I believe I got for $1. This all 4 of these, and they came with these little like rattan wicker napkin rings as well, each one of them. I got all 4 with the napkin rings for $1 at an antique store. So while these are one option, I'm not fully attached to these, so if I find a better fabric in here to make napkins out of, these will get nixed. But looking at our fabrics, I think it would be easiest to pick our tablecloth first. Now, I have some of these bolts. I think this one is too blue, and bless you. And while blue and the brown would go together, that feels more like Eastery springtime rather than fall. So I'm gonna nix this greenish blue. And then this one here is like a floral pattern, and it's got like peacocks and different flowers and stuff, and it's like a tan and white. But I don't think I want to go for that. Like, I'd be fine with botanical, but I don't want to lean into like the birds and the like, it's kind of like burlap. And I don't know that that's the vibe I'm going for. And then my last bowl here, which I think I would really like as a tablecloth, is this really pretty green and beige pattern fabric. And I think it would make an awesome tablecloth. I just don't know that it's quite wide enough for my table after I do all the hems and stuff on it. And if I did this, I don't know that I would want to do these napkins. I think they're too close. So we have ivory or this, and I think I have a few other large squares of fabric in here. I have this fabric here that it's not quite big enough for a tablecloth, but I could certainly get 6 placemats. What are you doing? I could certainly get 6 placemats out of it, and it would pair really nice with our ivory tablecloth. So I may set this one aside in case I go with that option. This one here is a nice, like a beigey, silvery, like very simple botanical pattern that I think is big enough for a tablecloth. So here's another tablecloth option for us if we want to go a little bit more neutral, and I think it would pair well with the browns if there was more of a lighter color placemat on top of this. I do have this really pretty like satin fabric that I know if it gets wet, it's gonna get ruined. But I mean, this would be a really pretty napkin combination with these here. So if I end up using the color of these napkins, I could use this as a contrasting texture, but complementing color to get those 2 napkins out of. And I have so much of this that if they get ruined, there's so much more fabric that I have to make something else with. So I'm not too worried about this getting ruined. I mean, it's gonna have to go through the washing machine anyway before it gets used. So that's an option with those. This one is really nice. It's got like a large stripe pattern with 2 different textures in it that I don't know it's big enough to make a tablecloth out of, but I could make some placemats out of this. All right, that's 1 bag down. I think this bag has a lot more colors and pattern in it, so I think I can make quick work of this because I don't want anything too patterned. What is this? Oh, these are definitely in a fall color, but they could be used any time of year, honestly. But I think these would make some beautiful napkins. I think this is gorgeous. This, if this was big enough for a tablecloth, I don't know that it is, but this could be a runner. I could use my ivory tablecloth with this green as a runner and then these as the napkins. That could look real nice. So I'm gonna put this over here with this because I really like that idea. I think this is big enough to be a tablecloth, but I think it's too dark for a tablecloth, but I like this as placemats, and they would be reversible, which could be kind of fun. 2nd bag down. Okay, let's look at our final options with our dishes and our napkin rings. By the way, if you have not met my miniature dachshund, this is Maple. All right, girlfriend, you're going. So one option is looking at this as the tablecloth, this as a placemat within our plate, and then this as our napkin. And I think this does go pretty well together. However, it feels a little boring and not like super festive. I think it would be nice for just like a dinner with family at any time of the year, but like for a holiday like this that is more fall themed and more festive, I don't know that this is as exciting as I would like it to be. Another option would be the ivory tablecloth with this as our placemat and then these as napkins. However, I feel like the pattern on this doesn't, like the plate sitting on top of it, I don't know that those go super well together. I think a little bit less contrasting pattern or a solid would make a better placemat option, especially with these browns being so different. It just kind of looks out of place. And I do love this green fabric. It looks brown on camera, but I promise it's green. But I love this green fabric in this, like doing 4 napkins in this and 2 in this would look really nice with our ivory tablecloth and these as placemats. However, once again, I don't know that I like the plate on this here. If the plate was a solid color, like a solid white or a solid brown, that would be okay. But I think because this has the rings around the outside, I don't know that I love it with those. So my final idea is to do the ivory tablecloth, make a placemat, a larger placemat out of this green pattern fabric, do a smaller placemat out of this more linen-y fabric to give us a solid base for our plates, and then coming in with this green here as our napkins. So we have green and brown and beige as our color options. So I think that is what I am leaning towards, but I do think I need to play around with it just a little bit more to settle on a final decision for that. Before I get to work making those linens, since it is the day before Thanksgiving, I need to run now before it gets too late to Walmart, because when I was there the other day picking up groceries, they had these really pretty florals that were like mums and things like that, and like the reds, yellow, like fall colors that I thought would be really pretty just in a few small little vases across the table. And I don't want to go crazy with like the decor on the table so we can see each other and talk, but I thought those would be a nice little touch. And I was thinking of doing just like some small little bud vases throughout, but I don't have enough little ones, or at least ones that go together, that I think would work. So I was going to try to stop by some antique stores or some thrift stores or something earlier today and see if I could find some. However, it's so late and I have so much to do, I don't have the time to do that. So I'm going to see if Walmart has some while I'm grabbing the flowers themselves. However, it is 4 o'clock the night before Thanksgiving, so I think I'm going to be in for a treat with the amount of people that are there. I tried to do it all ahead of time, yet here we are. That always seems to happen. But once we get back, I can start sewing the linens and getting everything ready for tomorrow. Back in the home decor section, I found these little vases for only $3 a piece, and I thought they would be perfect for what I was going for. And then in another aisle, they had a couple of different vases here, and I looked at this one from Drew Barrymore's beautiful collection that I thought was a really interesting shape, and I liked the ribbing, but ultimately I did not think this one was gonna be enough of a size difference from the other ones that I got. And while I was back there, I looked at some of the other stuff that they have, and I thought $9 for these little marble like catch-all dishes was a steal. So I did pick one of these up, and I was also impressed by some of their other items, like this low bowl with the 2 handles. It was a really pretty color and only $13. And then they had some awesome trays, like this brass one with some etching in it. And down here, there was this black metal one that reminds me of some from Zara Home, but this one actually has some little feet on it, and I thought it would be perfect in a guest bathroom. I don't always look at the home decor at Walmart, not for any particular reason, but I was very impressed having not been back there for a while. But after getting back home, I went ahead and started measuring and cutting my fabric. I had to make 6 placemats and 2 napkins. For the 2 napkins, I just used the ones that I already had as a template and just gave myself an extra inch for seam allowance. And after getting them cut out, I went ahead and just sewed them up real quick. At this point though, it was a little bit later in the evening, so I don't know how straight these seams or the stitching actually turned out. time to set our table. Our linens are washed and ironed. Well, they still have some wrinkles, but they're as ironed as they're gonna get because I gotta get to cooking. But I did decide to go with the ivory tablecloth, and then I'm using this satin green, just like strip of scrap fabric. I didn't sew the edges or anything, and it's just gonna serve as kind of like a runner, but we'll have 2 heads of the table and then 2 on each side to seat 6 people. And then because I didn't have enough napkins or figuring out the napkin situation, but the 4 along the 2 sides, we'll use these with these linen placemats, like beigey linen placemats that I made last night. So it'll be linen placemat with the paisley napkin, and then the 2 heads of the table will kind of be a little inverse of that because I made matching napkins to these linen placemats here. And then because I had that green floral fabric, I made 2 green floral placemats out of that fabric. So the sides of the table will have the linen placemats with the paisley napkins, and then the 2 heads of the table will have the 2 green placemats with the linen napkins. And then all of it will pair nicely with our ivory tablecloth and our green runner. And then our plates, as I mentioned, are these brown here. We have the larger size and then the smaller size. They both have the little speckles on them and then the brown rings around the outside. And then for our glassware, I picked up, our friends are big beer drinkers, but they prefer to drink beer out of glasses. So I picked up these kind of ribbed glasses from Home Goods the other day for the beer. And then I have some smaller glasses for water. While I did just get 6 of these beer glasses, I don't have 4 of the same like low ball glasses for the water. So the 2 heads of the table will get these little glasses here with the little inset studded detail. And then the 4 along the edges of the table will have this more like detailed crystal moment here for their water glass. And then everyone will have the same like beer glasses. And then I personally will probably be drinking cocktails, so I may use the larger glass for my water glass, and then whatever smaller glass I have, if I end up drinking the bourbon cocktail, or if I end up drinking the tequila cocktail, I have these like pretty ribbed coupe glasses that will pair nicely with the water glass that I end up using. And then of course I have the napkin rings that pair nicely with our dinner plates. And then for my flatware, I'm just gonna use a silver and nickel colored flatware because that's what I have on hand. So just simple there. And then to serve water out of, I had these from IKEA. They're just like $4 or $5 like corked water glasses, and I love when I host to serve water out of these. I have 2 of them that'll sit at each end of the table. And then as for our decor on the table, I did pick up these pretty florals that I saw at Walmart the other day. I love that they have fall colors in them while still having some green. So they'll tie in our place setting and all of that, but bring in some other more fall colors as well. And then to put those in, I picked up from Walmart just this one more medium-sized vase with the 2 handles and the ribbing along the edge. So all those flowers won't fit in here, so I'll do one larger bouquet in here. And then I did also get some little ribbed like bud vases, and I have 2 of the darker ones and then one of this lighter amber colored one. So I have 3 of these that I'll put like 1 or 2 little flowers in. And then if there's still any flowers left over, I do have some like little reusable like jam jars that I can make some smaller bouquets in as well. So I'll end up playing with the levels in our florals with this guy being the tallest in the middle, and then sprinkled throughout some more like medium height ones, but like tall and skinny, and then some lower but wider with the little jam jars. So our flowers will kind of have some different heights. And then sprinkled in amongst our flowers, I have some brass candlestick holders that I'll incorporate as well. And they have a little floral detail inlay carved out thing along the bottom here as well. So that gives a little extra detail too, tying into some of the patterns in our napkins and placemats. And then the ribbing in our tall vase and our little small bud vases tie in to our glassware, which also ties into the coupe glassware. So we have some varied shapes and heights and things like that. Some of the textures on the glassware ties back in. Some of the patterns and the colors and the linens all complement one another. And then the plates and everything, and also the colors in some of our glassware and our napkin rings all go really nicely together. And then we have just a little bit of a pop with our florals, but they still have some of the same colors in our table setting. So all together, I probably spent, I already had the linens, but I spent around $5 on them, which is probably what you would spend if you ended up replicating something or buying new fabric. So $5 for the linens. The plates I already had on hand. The vases, I think I spent $20 on the vases. A lot of the glasses I already had, but I did buy some new glassware for $13, and then the flowers were $10. So all together, I think and then I already had these, but you could probably thrift a set similar to this for around $10 to $12. So this table setting was only like $50 or $60, which if you go to Home Goods or Target or whatever, that's what you're spending for like a nice tablecloth and some napkins. Like that doesn't include the runner and the plates and the glassware and all of that. So while I was hoping to stay closer to 25, I did end up buying some new stuff through the vases and all of that, but I had some stuff I could have used if I wanted it to be just a little bit more eclectic, which would have been totally fine. But I think $50 to $60 for a place setting with buying some new stuff, including all new linens that I never used. I made them myself. I did not think it was too bad. And a lot of this stuff is not like season specific. This green could be reused in the springtime. The amber and stuff can be reused in the summertime. All of the glassware can be used any time of year. Same thing with the plate. So like, this is a seasonal and more like fall inspired spread that I'm gonna have, but I can reuse all of the items in different ways throughout any season, throughout the year, for any occasion. So it was well worth the small investment that I made in this, and I'm super happy with the way it turned out. I mean, I guess I haven't seen how it's turned out yet, but once I put this together, I know it's gonna look beautiful, and I'm really excited to see all my friends and spend Thanksgiving together. I hope you all enjoyed your Thanksgiving with your family last week, and I just want you to know that I am thankful for every single one of you who comes and watches my videos. I greatly appreciate it. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider giving it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, I hope you will consider doing so and coming back for the rest of Vlogmas. I now just have to put all of this together and get to cooking before my friends arrive in an hour and a half. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I wish you all my best.